Welcome to the Burnout Recovery Podcast, a guiding resource dedicated to healthcare professionals on their journey to overcoming burnout. Spearheaded by Dr. Joe Braid, a certified professional coach and rehabilitation physician. This podcast offers practical strategies through expert interviews and personal resilience stories, providing invaluable tools for navigating professional challenges while prioritizing well-being. Regardless of your role in healthcare, this podcast acknowledges the toll of your work on your overall health and is committed to supporting your recovery from burnout and fostering a fulfilling, sustainable career. So, if you're ready to begin a transformative journey, join us for each new episode. Together, we'll navigate challenges, celebrate successes, and build a supportive community of healthcare professionals.
On this Christmas Day, as the world around us celebrates connection and reflection, I want to invite you to a deeply personal journey of self-awareness. This podcast episode is about returning to yourself, a profound gift you can offer, especially during a season that can feel externally focused. We'll explore how mindful awareness can be a powerful tool for understanding your inner landscape, recognizing your needs, and cultivating compassion for yourself. In a time often filled with expectations and potential stress, this conversation is an opportunity to pause, breathe, and reconnect with your authentic self. So what really is a feeling or an emotion? I use these two words interchangeably to mean the same thing. A feeling is really a vibration in your body from a neurochemical cascade. So you might think about some feelings that are more familiar to you. What does happy feel like in your body? What does overwhelm feel like? What does stress feel like? What does playfulness feel like? What does confidence feel like? I grew up in the United Kingdom until my early 20s after I'd finished my medical school training and first year as an intern. And in my much more recent years, I've definitely grown my emotional awareness away from having a stiff upper lip and all that. I've coached other clients also from the UK, and they sometimes have said, oh, yes, we didn't really get to express our emotions much more than, yep, it's going okay. So as I started my medical training, I was exposed to sights, sounds, and smells, which were completely different to what I'd experienced in life so far. And I actually learned to put up a barrier to avoid feeling some of the more uncomfortable feelings through what I was experiencing both as a medical student and then further on, especially as a junior doctor with more responsibility and often being first to a scene. And I really find life has been more colourful and more exciting since I have grown my awareness of the whole range of feelings that we experience in life. So we experience both negative and positive feelings. In fact, that's how life's meant to be, 50-50 range of, the perceived good feelings and perceived bad feelings. And I think sometimes in society, we're encouraged to only feel the positive feelings and do things to move away from the negative feelings. And I don't agree with that. I don't think that's the way to go. I think it's important to be really aware of what those negative feelings feel like and what you do from that place. So a tool that I commonly use with my clients is to invite them to think about what are their three most common feelings. What on a daily basis might you feel really commonly? And why do you think you feel those three feelings? So after you've pondered that, then let's have a little dream or thoughts or invitation to what you would like your top three feelings to be. They might be the same. There might be one or two that are the same. There might be some different ones. And why do you want those three feelings to be your top three feelings? And as I will be explaining more and more through the podcast to come, our feelings drive us to take actions or inactions, which then create our results. So if you chose these 3 top feelings, what results would you create from these top 3 feelings? Would they be different to what you're currently creating in your life? Clients I coach in burnout recovery often feel dread and overwhelm, especially early on when we're coaching together, and it can still come up during the weeks that we coach together. And what happens, what do they do from a feeling of dread and overwhelm? Well, things come up like procrastinating, avoiding the task that they perceive is challenging, having a difficult conversation, sending an email, writing a report, avoiding doing the task from that feeling of dread or feeling of overwhelm. So the result is that the task is still outstanding and it hasn't been addressed when that feeling is there in your body. And that can change. So that's my encouragement to you, that yes, we can definitely be aware of those feelings that we have, but we also have the power within us to change our thoughts, which create a different feeling in us. So I wanted to share with you today what are my 3 top feelings that I like to have on the daily. I wouldn't say I have them always, but if I'm choosing my top 3 feelings, this is what they are: consistency, connection, and playfulness. I've got 3 young boys who are under 12, and play is really important for me to experience as a feeling to really engage and connect with them well. So I love playfulness. It translates into the music that I do. I also love a hit of tennis, and that's pretty hilarious and generally playful there as well. So I share with clients often a big feelings wheel, which has got a lot of different feelings that anyone might experience. Life consists of 50-50 good and bad feelings. It's totally normal, and that's what the human brain does. So today I encourage you to become aware of this. I invite you to experience all the feelings that you might be feeling, and don't run away from them, because nothing bad can come from a feeling. It's just a vibration in your body. And generally the time for a feeling to pass through your body is about 90 seconds, and then it moves on. Now that depends on the thought that you're having about a certain situation. And if you keep having the same thought, the same feeling will appear to stay longer in your body. But when you have a feeling, whether it's a positive feeling or a negative feeling, I encourage you to pause and acknowledge it. Understand where it sits in your body, and imagine describing it to a 5 or a 6-year-old, what it feels like in your body. Has it got a color? Does it move? Has it got a temperature? And really know what that feeling feels like to you in your own body before you look to change anything. Because the more awareness we start with, the more familiarity we have with ourselves, and from there we can look to keep things the same or look to change something from there. So it's a short and sweet podcast this week. That's what I've got for you all. Thanks so much for listening. I'll catch up with you again soon. Cheers. Thank you for tuning in to the Burnout Recovery Podcast. If you liked what you heard, please hit subscribe and head on over to my website at drjobraid.com. There you can download my free guide with 10 tips to take if you're nearing burnout. See you next time.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Burnout Recovery Podcast. If there's someone in your world who would also benefit from this, please share it with them. Remember, you're not alone, and there is hope for a brighter, more fulfilling future. Let's continue this journey together, one episode at a time. For more resources, including how to move from dread to delight, head to drjobraid.com.